Imagine standing on the shore of an endless ocean. The waves crash and retreat, each one unique, yet disappearing the moment it touches the sand. If you could trap a single wave in your hands, would it still be a wave? Would it still carry the same energy and force it had before? Or would it just slip through your fingers, fading into nothingness? Life is like that wave, fleeting, powerful, and slipping away with every breath. But unlike the wave, we often live as if we have an infinite ocean of time ahead of us. We waste hours, days, and years caught up in worries, meaningless conflicts, and distractions, thinking that tomorrow will always come, but what if tomorrow never arrives? The Buddha once said, "The trouble is, you think you have time." This is the illusion that leads to a wasted life. We chase things that don't matter, attach ourselves to people who drain our energy, and put off our dreams as if we have all eternity to live. To truly understand life, we must understand its impermanence. The wise do not waste time in trivial pursuits. They do not linger in resentment or chase endless desires. Instead, they focus on what truly matters: awakening, inner peace, and living with purpose. This is a story of a man who thought he had all the time in the world, until he realized that time was slipping away faster than he could grasp. The story: the man who chased shadows. The comfort of delay. There was once a man who lived in the illusion of time. Every morning, he woke up with grand plans for his future. He told himself, "One day, I will do something meaningful. One day, I will follow my dreams. One day, I will seek the truth of life." But today was never the right time. Each day, he was caught up in distractions. He chased after wealth, status, and approval, believing that these things would bring him happiness. He spent hours arguing over things that didn't matter, holding grudges, and worrying about what others thought of him, and yet, a quiet whisper inside him always said, "Is this really how you want to live?" But he silenced the voice, saying, "Not now. I will think about it later." Days turned into years. The man aged, but his dreams remained untouched, buried under a mountain of excuses. Most people live in the comfort of delay. They believe they have time to waste, so they postpone their true calling. But every moment wasted is a moment lost forever. Life does not wait. It moves forward, with or without you. The visit from the stranger. One evening, as the man sat in his house, he heard a knock at the door. When he opened it, he saw a mysterious figure standing there, cloaked in the colors of the twilight. The stranger looked into the man's eyes and said, "Come with me." "Where?" the man asked. "To see the truth," the stranger replied. The man hesitated. He had plans for the evening, people to meet, things to do. But something about the stranger's presence felt undeniable. And so, he followed. Life often presents us with moments of awakening, but we hesitate. We make excuses, fearing the unknown. But those who dare to follow the call of truth discover a reality far greater than their small distractions. The illusion of time. The stranger led the man to a quiet place where the stars shone brightly. "Look at the sky," the stranger said. The man gazed upward, marveling at the beauty. "Do you see the stars?" the stranger asked. "Yes," the man replied. "Now close your eyes." The man closed his eyes, and the stranger whispered, "What if I told you that by the time you open your eyes, 100 years will have passed?" The man's heart pounded. He opened his eyes instantly, expecting everything to be different, but nothing had changed. The stranger smiled. This is how life works. You close your eyes, thinking you have time, and when you open them, your years are gone. The man's mind raced. He thought of all the time he had wasted, all the things he had put off, all the dreams he had abandoned. He whispered, "What have I done with my life?" Time is the greatest illusion. We think we have it, but in the blink of an eye, it is gone. Those who awaken to this truth waste no time on meaningless things. The Valley of Lost Souls. The stranger led the man to a valley where shadowy figures wandered aimlessly. "Who are they?" the man asked. "They are the ones who wasted their lives," the stranger said. "They chased what did not matter and ignored what did. Now, they roam in regret, wishing they could turn back time." The man shivered. He saw figures who had spent their lives chasing wealth but never enjoyed it, people who had held on to anger until it consumed them, and those who had been too afraid to follow their true path. "Will this be my fate?" the man asked. The stranger looked deep into his soul and said, "That depends on you. Are you ready to live?" The greatest regret is not what we did, but what we failed to do. Do not let fear, distractions, or hesitation turn you into one of the lost. The final choice. The man fell to his knees. He saw, with terrifying clarity, how much of his life he had wasted. "What should I do?" he pleaded. The stranger's voice was calm. "Wake up. Right now. Let go of everything that does not serve your true purpose. Live as if every breath is your last. Find peace, love, and wisdom, not in the future, but in this very moment." The man took a deep breath. For the first time in his life, he felt truly awake. He saw that nothing was more important than this moment. He vowed to stop wasting time on things that did not bring true fulfillment. When he looked up, the stranger was gone, but the lesson remained. Life is happening now. The past is gone. The future is uncertain. The only way to avoid regret is to fully embrace the present. The true value of time. If we pause and reflect on our daily lives, we will see how often we squander time without realizing it. We invest hours in mindless distractions, engage in conflicts that drain our energy, and postpone what truly matters. But what is the cost of this? A wasted day is a wasted life in miniature. Every moment lost to idleness, fear, or meaningless pursuits is a moment we will never get back. The wise do not take time for granted because they understand its impermanence. Consider this: if you had a precious gem in your hand, would you toss it aside carelessly? Would you trade it for something worthless? Time is more valuable than any gem, yet we waste it on things that do not serve our growth, happiness, or purpose. Living with intention. What does it mean to live wisely? It means to be conscious of how we spend our time. Every action should be aligned with a greater purpose. This does not mean we must always be serious or productive in a rigid way. Rather, it means we must live in a way that brings true fulfillment. If you love something, pursue it now. If you need to forgive someone, do it now. If you dream of a new life, begin creating it now. If you seek wisdom, seek it now. The greatest tragedy is not death, it is dying without ever having truly lived. Letting go of the unimportant. One of the biggest ways we waste life is by clinging to things that do not matter. We hold grudges, we obsess over how others see us, we compare our lives to others, and we chase things that bring only temporary pleasure but no lasting peace. To stop wasting life, we must ask, will this matter when I am on my deathbed? Will this bring me peace and wisdom? Is this aligned with my deeper purpose? If the answer is no, then let it go. The courage to change. Many people realize they are wasting their lives but feel trapped. They say, "It's too late for me. I don't know how to change. I am afraid of leaving my comfort zone." But the truth is, transformation happens in an instant. The moment you decide to live differently, you are already on a new path. No one is bound to their past choices. Every breath is an opportunity to begin again. The man in the story saw the truth too late. But you are reading this now. You have the chance to awaken before regret sets in. The only question is, will you take it? A simple way to start. If you truly want to stop wasting your life, begin with these 3 practices. 1. Live with awareness. Observe how you spend your time. Ask yourself daily, is this bringing me closer to my purpose? 2. Prioritize what matters. Let go of unnecessary distractions. Focus on wisdom, peace, love, and growth. 3. Act now, not later. Stop waiting for the perfect time. The perfect time is now. The power of the present moment. The past is gone. The future is uncertain. The only reality is this moment. Do not wait until you are visited by the realization of wasted time. Wake up now, live deeply. Love fully. Seek wisdom. Be present, do not waste your life. Thanks for watching. Hope enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Just click the subscribe button below and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Also, feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you'd like to see next. See you in the next video. How does one attain peace amidst the chaos of the world? Is it even possible to live a life where nothing affects you, where no storm can shake your inner calm? This is a question often posed to those who walk the path of wisdom. Gautama Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." These words, so simple yet profound, hold the key to unlocking a life where external circumstances no longer dictate our happiness or inner peace. Instead, we can walk through life with a sense of unwavering calm, immune to the turbulence around us. But how? The answer lies in living by certain principles that serve as shields, protecting our minds and spirits from external disturbances. These principles are timeless and universal, passed down through Buddhist teachings. To understand how they can affect our lives, let's journey through the following story, a tale of one seeker's quest to become unshakable. The Seeker's Dilemma. There was once a man, a seeker of wisdom, who was troubled by the uncertainties of life. He often found himself anxious, fearful, and unable to cope with the challenges that seemed to come from every direction. When he faced criticism, it cut him deeply. When things did not go his way, anger and frustration clouded his mind. He wanted freedom from the constant emotional storms that disrupted his peace, so he decided to seek guidance from a wise teacher known for his profound understanding of the mind. The seeker asked, "How can I live a life where nothing can affect me?" The wise teacher smiled and said, "You cannot stop the wind, but you can build a shelter. To protect yourself from the winds of life, you must live by 10 principles. Each one is a stone in the foundation of that shelter. Walk with me, and I will show you these stones. 1. Impermanence. As they walked, the teacher pointed to a tree losing its leaves. The first principle is to embrace impermanence, he said. Nothing lasts forever, neither joy nor sorrow. The seasons change, just as our emotions do. The seeker looked at the tree and realized that clinging to things that were always changing was the root of his suffering. He often tried to hold on to moments of happiness, fearing their loss. But just as the leaves must fall to make way for new growth, he understood that nothing was permanent. Everything, whether pleasant or unpleasant, would pass. The teacher continued, when you accept impermanence, nothing can shake you, for you will no longer be attached to what must inevitably change. You will understand that life is a river, constantly flowing. Trying to stop the current is what causes suffering. 2. Non-attachment. As they continued walking, the teacher led the seeker to a flowing stream. He picked up a pebble from the streambed and said, the second principle is non-attachment. Just as the pebble flows with the stream, you must learn to flow with life. When you cling to possessions, people, or outcomes, you weigh yourself down. The seeker reflected on his tendency to attach great value to material things, relationships, and expectations. He realized that his constant striving for control was the source of much of his pain. The more he tried to grasp onto life, the more it slipped through his fingers. Let go, the teacher said. When you stop holding so tightly, you become light, and life carries you where you need to go. Nothing can affect you because you are no longer trying to control the uncontrollable. 3. Compassion. As they walked further, they came across a small bird with a broken wing. The teacher gently picked it up and placed it in a safe spot. The third principle is compassion, he said. Compassion for all living beings, including yourself. When you live with compassion, you are not disturbed by the actions of others. You understand that everyone is suffering in their own way. The seeker had always been quick to anger when others wronged him. But now, he saw that anger only harmed him, while compassion could heal both him and others. When you respond with compassion instead of anger, no one can disturb your peace, the teacher said. You remain unaffected because you see others not as enemies, but as fellow travelers on this difficult path of life. 4. Mindfulness. The teacher and the seeker arrived at a quiet garden. Sit here, the teacher said. The fourth principle is mindfulness, awareness of the present moment. Too often, we live in the past or the future, worrying about what was or what will be. But the present moment is all that truly exists. The seeker closed his eyes and focused on his breath. He felt the cool air entering his lungs and the warmth of the sun on his face. For the first time in a long while, he was fully present. When you live mindfully, the teacher explained, nothing from the past or future can disturb you, for you are anchored in the now. The present moment is your refuge. 5. Right speech. They continued their journey, and soon they encountered a group of people arguing. The teacher stopped and said, the fifth principle is right speech. Words can build or destroy. Many conflicts arise simply because we speak without thought, driven by emotion. The seeker thought about the times he had spoken in anger, causing harm to others and himself. He realized that words, once spoken, could never be taken back. Speak only when necessary, the teacher said, and when you do, let your words be kind, truthful, and beneficial. When you practice right speech, you are free from the chaos that careless words create. You will find that much of what troubles you can be avoided by simply choosing silence or wisdom in your speech. 6. Patience. As they walked further, the seeker noticed a tree growing slowly, its roots deep in the earth. The teacher said, "The sixth principle is patience. Just as the tree takes time to grow, so do we." Impatience creates frustration, but when you are patient, you cannot be shaken by delays or obstacles. The seeker reflected on his tendency to rush through life, always wanting immediate results. He realized that his impatience had only brought him stress and disappointment. When you are patient, the teacher said, you understand that everything unfolds in its own time. You are no longer affected by the pace of life, for you know that every moment has its purpose. 7. Right action. They came upon a person struggling to lift a heavy load. The teacher helped the person, and then turned to the seeker and said, "The seventh principle is right action. Do what is right, regardless of how others behave. When you act in accordance with your values, you are not swayed by the actions or opinions of others." The seeker had often been influenced by what others thought or expected of him. He realized now that this had led him away from his true path. Right action brings peace, the teacher said. When you live in integrity, external circumstances cannot disturb your inner calm. You are unshakable because you know you have done what is right. 8. Equanimity. As they approached a hill, the teacher paused to admire the view. "The eighth principle is equanimity," he said. "This means maintaining a balanced mind, no matter what happens. When you are praised, you do not become proud. When you are criticized, you do not become angry. You remain steady, like a mountain." The seeker realized that he had often been at the mercy of others' opinions, his mood rising and falling based on external validation. But now, he saw that true peace came from within, not from the approval or disapproval of others. When you cultivate equanimity, the teacher said, nothing can disturb your peace. You are unaffected because your sense of self-worth does not depend on external circumstances. 9. Gratitude. The teacher led the seeker to a small, clear pond. "The ninth principle is gratitude," he said. "When you are grateful for what you have, instead of focusing on what you lack, you are free from dissatisfaction. Gratitude transforms every moment into a gift." The seeker had often focused on what was missing in his life, leading to a constant sense of discontent. But now, as he looked at the pond, he felt a deep sense of appreciation for its simple beauty. "Gratitude is a powerful shield," the teacher said. "When you live with gratitude, nothing can disturb your inner peace because you are always aware of the abundance that surrounds you." 10. Acceptance. Finally, they reached a peaceful meadow. The teacher turned to the seeker and said, "The 10th and final principle is acceptance. To accept life as it is, without resistance or judgment, is the ultimate freedom. Resistance creates suffering, but when you accept what is, you are no longer affected by it." The seeker understood now that much of his suffering had come from resisting reality, wishing things were different than they were. But by accepting life as it unfolded, he could find peace in any situation. When you practice acceptance, the teacher said, you flow with life, rather than against it. Nothing can affect you, because you have surrendered the need for control. The seeker's transformation. The seeker thanked the teacher and left, carrying the 10 principles with him. As he journeyed through life, he found that he was no longer disturbed by the things that once troubled him. Criticism no longer stung. Disappointment no longer lingered. Thanks for watching. Hope enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Just click the subscribe button below and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Also, feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you'd like to see next. See you in the next video. In a tranquil valley nestled between majestic mountains, a serene village thrived, untouched by the hustle and bustle of the outside world. The villagers lived simple, content lives, guided by the teachings of Buddha. Among them was a wise monk, Master Kaido, whose insights and teachings were renowned throughout the region. His temple, perched atop a hill, was a sanctuary of peace and enlightenment. Chapter 1: The Arrival of the Seeker. On a crisp spring morning, the tranquility of the village was interrupted by the arrival of a weary traveler. His name was Hiroshi, a man of about 30, with eyes that spoke of a restless soul. Hiroshi had wandered far and wide in search of meaning. Having amassed and lost fortunes, always feeling an emptiness that wealth could not fill, as Hiroshi approached the temple, he was greeted by Master Kaido, who sensed the heavy burden of material desire and spiritual confusion weighing on the traveler. "Welcome, seeker," said the monk, his voice a calm breeze in Hiroshi's stormy mind. "What brings you to our humble abode?" "I have chased wealth all my life," Hiroshi replied, "but it has brought me neither peace nor joy." "I seek guidance, Master Kaido." Master Kaido nodded, understanding the eternal conflict within Hiroshi. "Come, sit with me. Let us explore the teachings of Buddha together." Chapter 2: The Birth Dates of Destiny. As the days turned into weeks, Hiroshi immersed himself in the teachings of Buddhism, finding solace in the simplicity and depth of its wisdom. One evening, under the light of a full moon, Master Kaido shared a story from the ancient texts, one that spoke of karma and destiny. "Long ago," began Master Kaido, "there was a wise sage who could see the threads of karma that wove the fabric of our lives. He foretold that those born under certain celestial alignments would encounter great wealth, not as a reward, but as a test of their spirit." Hiroshi listened intently as the monk continued. The sage identified 3 birth dates: the 3rd of March, the 9th of September, and the 12th of December. Those born on these dates would have the potential to amass great fortunes by their 30th year, but their true challenge would be to find peace and enlightenment despite their wealth. Intrigued, Hiroshi asked, "Do you believe this to be true, Master?" Master Kaido smiled gently. "The universe has its ways, Hiroshi. It is not the wealth that defines us, but what we do with it and how we let it influence our journey towards enlightenment." Chapter 3: The Birth of Wealth. Among the villagers were 3 young individuals, each born on one of the foretold dates. Aiko, born on the 3rd of March, was a talented artist who painted the village's most beautiful murals. Kenji, born on the 9th of September, was a skilled craftsman, known for his exquisite woodwork. And Mei, born on the 12th of December, had a gift for music, her melodies echoing through the valley like whispers of the divine. As each of them approached their 30th year, the villagers noticed an unusual change. Aiko's paintings began to attract wealthy patrons from distant lands. Kenji's wooden creations were sought after by affluent collectors, and Mei's music drew the attention of influential patrons who showered her with gifts. The village buzzed with excitement, marveling at the fulfillment of the sage's prophecy. However, Aiko, Kenji, and Mei felt an unsettling disquiet. Despite their newfound wealth, they sensed a growing void within their hearts. They turned to Master Kaido for guidance, hoping to find the peace that eluded them. Chapter 4, The First Lesson, Impermanence. Master Kaido welcomed the three into the temple, sensing their inner turmoil. "You have been blessed with wealth," he said, "but remember, all things are transient. Wealth, like everything else, is impermanent." Aiko, Kenji, and Mei listened as the monk shared the story of Prince Siddhartha, who left his palace and renounced his wealth to seek enlightenment. The Buddha taught us that clinging to material possessions only leads to suffering. True peace comes from understanding the impermanent nature of all things. Contemplating these words, Aiko realized that her attachment to her paintings and the recognition they brought was a source of her unrest. Kenji saw that his pride in his craftsmanship had created an illusion of self-worth tied to external validation. Mei understood that the admiration she received for her music had become a chain, binding her to the material world. Chapter 5, The Second Lesson, Compassion. As the seasons changed, Master Kaido continued to guide Aiko, Kenji, and Mei through their spiritual journey. One day, he spoke of compassion. Wealth can be a powerful tool for good if used with a compassionate heart. The Buddha taught us to alleviate the suffering of others and to act with kindness and generosity. Inspired, Aiko began to teach painting to the village children, finding joy in sharing her art. Kenji started a workshop where he trained young apprentices, passing on his skills and creating a sense of community. Mei organized musical gatherings, using her talent to bring people together and heal their hearts, through their acts of compassion. Aiko, Kenji, and Mei discovered a deeper fulfillment than wealth had ever provided. They saw the happiness their efforts brought to others, and this selfless service began to fill the void within them. Chapter 6, The Third Lesson, Mindfulness. One serene morning, Master Kaido introduced the practice of mindfulness. To find true peace, he said, we must live in the present moment, fully aware and accepting of what is. Aiko, Kenji, and Mei embraced this practice, learning to focus on their breath, their thoughts, and their actions without judgment. As they cultivated mindfulness, they noticed a profound shift in their lives. The restlessness that had plagued them began to fade. Replaced by a calm and centered presence, Aiko found that her art became a meditative practice, each brushstroke a reflection of her inner state. Kenji discovered a deeper connection to his craft, feeling the wood's texture and the rhythm of his tools with heightened awareness. Mei's music became a spiritual expression, each note a testament to her inner peace. Chapter 7, The Fourth Lesson, Detachment. As their journey continued, Master Kaido taught them the importance of detachment. We must learn to let go, he said, not only of material possessions but also of our desires, fears, and ego. Aiko, Kenji, and Mei began to practice detachment, releasing their attachment to the outcomes of their actions. Aiko let go of the need for her art to be perfect, embracing the imperfections as part of the creative process. Kenji stopped seeking praise for his work, finding contentment in the act of creation itself. Mei released her fear of failure, allowing her music to flow freely from her heart. Through detachment, they discovered a new sense of freedom. No longer bound by their desires and fears, they experienced a lightness of being and an unshakable inner peace. Chapter 8, The Wheel of Karma. One day, as the sun set behind the mountains, casting a golden glow over the valley, Master Kaito gathered Aiko, Kenji, and Mei for a final lesson. "You have walked the path of wisdom," he said, "and have come to understand the true nature of wealth and happiness. Now, it is time to reflect on the wheel of karma." He explained that karma is the law of cause and effect, where our actions create ripples that return to us in various forms. "Your wealth was not a mere coincidence," Master Kaito said. "It was the result of your past deeds, a test of your spirit. By using your wealth with compassion, mindfulness, and detachment, you have created positive karma that will guide you towards enlightenment." Aiko, Kenji, and Mei felt a profound gratitude for Master Kaito's teachings. They realized that their journey was not about accumulating wealth, but about using it as a means to grow spiritually and help others. They had learned that true happiness and peace come from within, and that their actions, guided by the principles of Buddhism, could create a harmonious and meaningful life. Chapter 9, The Enlightened Path. Years passed, and the village flourished, enriched not by the wealth of a few, but by the collective spirit of compassion and mindfulness. Aiko, Kenji, and Mei continued to thrive, their lives intertwined with the well-being of their community. Aiko's art became a source of inspiration and healing, her murals depicting stories of compassion and the impermanence of life. Kenji's workshop grew into a place of learning and creativity, where apprentices found not only skills but also a sense of purpose and belonging. Mei's music resonated far beyond the village, touching hearts and spreading the message of mindfulness and peace. Master Kaito, now an elder, watched with a serene smile as his teachings bore fruit. He saw that the true wealth of his village lay in the harmony and enlightenment of its people. The prophecy had been fulfilled, not in the accumulation of riches, but in the realization of spiritual wealth. In this tale, we see the essence of Buddhist teachings come to life. The dates of birth, the 3rd of March, the 9th of September, and the 12th of December, signify not just the potential for material wealth but, more importantly, the opportunity for spiritual growth and enlightenment. It is a reminder that while destiny may bestow certain gifts upon us, it is our actions and intentions that shape our true path and purpose. Thanks for watching. Hope enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Just click the subscribe button below and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Also, feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you'd like to see next. See you in the next video. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself why some of the greatest achievements in life happen in silence? Why does true wisdom often come cloaked in stillness, away from the noise of the world? Gautama Buddha once said, "Silence is the greatest teacher." In the silence of the heart, truth reveals itself. There is a profound reason why the wise choose not to announce their plans or share their every move. It's not simply about secrecy, it's about protecting one's energy, focus, and peace. This Zen and Buddhist story explores the 7 reasons why you should never tell anyone what you do, shedding light on how silence nurtures success and preserves harmony in life. 1. Words can dilute your power. In a small temple surrounded by the towering mountains, a group of disciples gathered around their master. One of the youngest asked, "Master, why do we avoid speaking about our actions and goals?" The master, with a gentle smile, responded, When water is poured into a jug, the jug holds it quietly. But if the jug is shaken, the water spills, becoming less. Our words are like that shaking. When we speak of our goals and intentions before they come to fruition, we release the power they hold. In Zen, silence holds a deep value. When you speak too soon of your plans, you open the door to distractions, judgments, and doubts from others. By vocalizing your intentions, you allow the energy to dissipate. Like the jug of water, the more you speak, the more your energy spills out. In doing so, you weaken the force that drives you toward your goals. The Buddha often taught that the most powerful actions come from within. He once told a parable of a lotus flower growing in the mud, untouched by the dirt around it. The flower does not announce its growth, it simply rises toward the light, silently. Likewise, your actions and efforts should grow in silence, unaffected by the noise of the outside world. Silence nurtures strength, while words often drain it, too. Others may project doubts onto you. One evening, as the disciples were seated in meditation, a visitor came to the temple. He was troubled and sought guidance. "Master," he said, "I've shared my aspirations with my friends, yet all they do is fill my heart with doubt. Why do they not support me?" The master replied, "When a bird prepares to fly, it does not ask the sky if it will hold it. It trusts its wings." The second reason why you should never tell anyone what you do is that people often project their own insecurities and fears onto you. When you reveal your ambitions, others, out of jealousy, fear, or their own experiences of failure, may plant seeds of doubt in your mind. Even the purest of dreams can be tainted by the disbelief of others. Gautama Buddha often reminded his followers that the path to enlightenment is a solitary one, requiring unwavering focus and resilience. Sharing your goals with those who do not understand your vision can blur your clarity. It is not because people are inherently bad or wish to harm you, but because their own limitations prevent them from seeing the possibilities you envision. By keeping your path private, you protect your mind from absorbing the doubts of others, allowing your confidence to remain intact. 3. Your actions speak louder than words. As the days went by, a student approached the master and said, "I have told many about my intention to follow the path of enlightenment, yet I feel no closer to it." The master nodded and led the student outside. Pointing to a towering tree, the master said, "Do you see this tree? It has not spoken a word of its intention to grow. Yet, its strength and presence are undeniable. Actions have an undeniable power." In the teachings of Zen, one of the most profound truths is that actions, not words, define who we are. The third reason for remaining silent about your pursuits is that your actions will always speak louder than anything you say. Talking about your plans may give you a temporary sense of satisfaction. But that feeling quickly fades if it is not followed by consistent action. Just as a tree does not announce its growth, you do not need to declare your intentions to prove their worth. The Buddha's teachings often highlight the importance of mindfulness and presence. When you are fully engaged in your actions, your results will naturally reveal themselves to the world, without the need for verbal confirmation. Your success will be a reflection of your dedication, not your words. 4. The ego desires attention. One morning, the disciples were busy with their chores when they overheard a fellow student boast about his future accomplishments. The master, witnessing this, approached the group and said, "The river that boasts of its strength forgets that it flows because of the gentle slope that guides it." Humility is the true power. The fourth reason you should never tell anyone what you do is rooted in the nature of the ego. The ego thrives on attention, validation, and approval. When you speak of your plans, your ego seeks the praise of others, which can become a trap. Instead of focusing on the work needed to accomplish your goals, you may find yourself seeking more praise or validation. Zen teaches the importance of humility and detachment from the ego. Gautama Buddha often spoke of the dangers of attachment, including the attachment to recognition and approval. By keeping your plans to yourself, you starve the ego of attention and remain focused on what truly matters: your growth, your actions, and your journey. True fulfillment comes from within, not from the applause of others. When you detach from the need to tell others, you free yourself from the chains of external validation, allowing your efforts to be pure and focused. 5. Distractions can derail your progress. Later that day, a young monk was troubled. "Master," he asked, "I find that after I share my goals with others, I am less focused. Why does this happen?" The master, with a kind gaze, replied, "Imagine planting a seed. If you constantly dig it up to show others, how will it grow?" The fifth reason to remain silent about your plans is that sharing them can invite distractions. Once you reveal your intentions, others may offer their opinions, advice, or even their own expectations for your success. While some of these may be well-meaning, they can easily pull you off course. The path to achieving anything meaningful requires focus and solitude. Every time you speak about what you intend to do, you risk inviting external influences that can shift your direction. Buddha's teachings remind us that distractions, even in the form of well-intentioned advice, can lead us away from the clarity of our purpose. Silence shields you from these distractions, allowing you to remain fully present in your work. 6. Success comes from inner growth, not external recognition. One evening, as the sun set and the temple was bathed in golden light, a disciple asked, "Master, why do some people fail even after working hard?" The master replied, "Because they worked for the approval of others, not for the growth of their own soul." The tree does not grow for the applause of the forest. It grows because it is its nature to do so. The sixth reason you should never tell anyone what you do is that success is a deeply personal journey. True success comes from inner growth, not from external recognition. When you focus too much on telling others about your plans or seeking their approval, you shift your attention away from your own development. Zen and Buddhist philosophy emphasize the importance of looking inward for fulfillment. Gautama Buddha taught that inner peace and wisdom cannot be found in the external world, but must be cultivated within. When you stop seeking validation from others and instead focus on your inner journey, your success will be a natural outcome of your growth. By remaining silent about your goals, you ensure that your actions are driven by a desire for personal growth rather than a need for recognition. 7. The future is uncertain. Focus on the present. As the moon rose high in the sky, casting a serene glow over the temple, the master gathered his disciples one last time. "Remember," he said softly, "the future is always uncertain. To speak of what has not yet come is to place your trust in the unknown." The final reason you should never tell anyone what you do is rooted in the impermanence of life. The future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow will bring. By speaking too much about your plans, you become attached to an outcome that may or may not come to pass. Buddha's teachings on impermanence remind us that everything in life is subject to change. The only moment we truly have is the present. When you focus too much on the future, on what you plan to do or what you hope to achieve, you lose sight of the present moment, where real progress is made. By staying silent and grounded in the present, you allow your actions to unfold naturally, without the burden of future expectations. In this way, your journey becomes more about the process than the destination, and your progress is guided by mindfulness and presence. Conclusion: the power of silent action. As the disciples reflected on the Master's words, they came to understand the profound wisdom in remaining silent about their actions. The 7 reasons: protecting your energy, avoiding others' doubts, letting actions speak, taming the ego, staying focused, seeking inner growth, and embracing uncertainty, offered a roadmap to living a life of quiet strength and purpose. Just as the lotus flower rises from the mud in silence, your greatest achievements will blossom when nurtured in the stillness of your own heart. Gautama Buddha's teachings remind us that true wisdom and power come not from speaking, but from doing. Thanks for watching. Hope enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Just click the subscribe button below and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Also, feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you'd like to see next. See you in the next video. Have you ever wondered why there are moments in life when silence feels more powerful than words, and why it is sometimes better to let go of everyone around you? Silence, in Zen and Buddhist teachings, is not simply the absence of noise, it is the path to wisdom, the gateway to self-awareness, and the shield from unnecessary suffering. In the moments of quiet, we discover the depth of our being. In the moments of separation from others, we find our true nature. But why is it necessary to remain silent and withdraw from people altogether? The answer can be found in the teachings of the Buddha, who once said, "Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace." This simple yet profound statement points to the heart of why silence can often speak louder than any conversation, and why cutting off toxic ties with others is essential for inner peace. Through this story, we will explore 7 powerful reasons why embracing silence and severing unnecessary connections is not an act of isolation, but a pathway to liberation and enlightenment. 1. Silence reveals your true self. In the hustle of daily life, we often lose touch with who we truly are. We become entangled in the opinions, expectations, and judgments of others. The constant noise of the world drowns out the voice within. But when you allow yourself to be silent, you strip away all the layers of conditioning that have been placed upon you. You begin to see yourself for who you truly are, without the influence of others. Silence creates the space for self-reflection. It is in these moments of stillness that you reconnect with your inner being, with the core essence that is often buried under the distractions of the external world. You start to understand your thoughts, feelings, and desires on a much deeper level. Silence, therefore, becomes a mirror that reflects the truth of who you are. In Zen practice, silence is not only encouraged but revered as a sacred practice. By cutting off unnecessary conversations and shallow connections, you open the door to deeper self-awareness. Imagine yourself sitting alone, surrounded by nothing but the sound of your own breath. It is in this peaceful solitude that you will find clarity about your path, your purpose, and your place in the world. 2. Cutting ties prevents emotional drain. One of the most compelling reasons to cut all contacts from your life is to protect yourself from emotional exhaustion. Human relationships are complex and often come with a heavy emotional price. There are those who drain you with their constant demands, their negativity, or their inability to support you. These are the relationships that pull you away from your inner peace, leaving you feeling depleted and unbalanced. Buddhist teachings often speak about the importance of mindful relationships, connections that are based on mutual respect, understanding, and compassion. However, not all relationships are built on these foundations. Some relationships are toxic, built on manipulation, codependency, or selfishness. These are the connections that you must sever if you wish to preserve your mental and emotional well-being. By choosing silence and walking away from these toxic bonds, you free yourself from the burden of emotional drain. You protect your energy and create space for the things that truly matter. In the quietness of being alone, you recharge your emotional batteries and learn to cultivate relationships that are healthy and fulfilling. 3. Silence grants you the power to observe. When you are constantly engaged in conversation or surrounded by people, you often miss the subtle details of life. You miss the lessons that come from simply observing the world around you. Silence offers the gift of awareness. When you stop talking and start listening, you become more attuned to the energies around you. Buddhist teachings emphasize the power of mindfulness, the practice of being fully present in the moment. Silence allows you to be a mindful observer of life. You notice the patterns in your own thoughts, the emotions that arise, and the way others behave. You start to see things as they truly are, without the cloud of judgment or distraction. This heightened sense of awareness helps you make better decisions, avoid unnecessary conflicts, and approach life with a sense of calm and clarity. In silence, you also observe yourself more clearly. You notice your reactions, your fears, your hopes, and your desires. By stepping back from the noise of the world, you gain a clearer understanding of the situations that serve you and those that do not. 4. Silence protects your inner peace. In the chaos of life, peace is a rare and valuable commodity. Yet, many of us sabotage our own inner peace by staying connected to people who disrupt it. There are those who thrive on drama, negativity, and chaos. These are the people who bring unnecessary tension into your life, making it difficult for you to maintain a state of tranquility. The Buddha taught that peace is found within. It is not something that can be granted by others, it is something that you cultivate in your own heart. However, it is nearly impossible to maintain this inner peace when you are constantly surrounded by conflict or stress. Silence, therefore, becomes a sanctuary, a safe space where you can retreat and protect your peace. Cutting ties with those who disrupt your peace is not an act of selfishness, but an act of self-preservation. When you choose silence and distance, you create a boundary that protects your well-being. You give yourself the gift of peace, which is essential for your spiritual growth and happiness. 5. Cutting all contacts allows for healing. We all carry wounds from past relationships, wounds that linger long after the people involved have left our lives. Whether it's the pain of betrayal, the sting of rejection, or the weight of unmet expectations, these emotional wounds can have a profound impact on your mental and spiritual health. Silence and solitude are necessary for healing. In Buddhist philosophy, healing begins with acceptance, accepting what has happened and letting go of attachment to the pain. But in order to fully heal, you must create the space for it. This is where silence and cutting ties come in. When you step away from the source of your pain, you give yourself the opportunity to process your emotions without interference. You allow yourself to grieve, to reflect, and eventually to move on. Healing cannot happen in the midst of chaos. It requires stillness, reflection, and time. By embracing silence and severing ties with those who have caused you harm, you open the door to healing and emotional recovery. 6. Silence gives you the strength to let go. Letting go is one of the most challenging yet liberating acts one can perform. It requires immense inner strength to release your attachments to people, situations, and outcomes. However, in Zen and Buddhist teachings, letting go is a central principle. It is the key to freedom. Holding on to relationships that no longer serve you is like carrying a heavy burden on your back. It weighs you down and prevents you from moving forward. Silence helps you build the strength to release these burdens. When you stop communicating with those who no longer have a positive role in your life, you free yourself from their influence. You let go of the need for validation, approval, or attention from others. The Buddha often spoke about the dangers of attachment, saying that attachment is the root of suffering. Silence helps you detach from the expectations and opinions of others, allowing you to live authentically and in alignment with your own values. In the stillness, you realize that letting go is not a loss, but a gain. It is the gain of freedom, independence, and inner peace. 7. Silence leads to enlightenment. Ultimately, silence is the path to enlightenment. In Zen Buddhism, the practice of zazen, or sitting meditation, is a cornerstone of the journey to awakening. It is in the silence of meditation that practitioners connect with the present moment and experience the true nature of reality. When you choose silence, you are choosing to walk the path of wisdom. You are choosing to turn inward, to explore the depths of your consciousness, and to seek the truth within. The distractions of the world, including unnecessary relationships, pull you away from this path. But when you cut ties and embrace silence, you become more focused on your spiritual journey. Enlightenment is not something that can be attained through external validation or social interactions. It is a deeply personal experience, one that requires stillness, reflection, and inner work. By choosing silence, you are making a conscious decision to prioritize your spiritual growth and enlightenment over the distractions of the material world. Conclusion: the power of silence and detachment. As we conclude this exploration, it becomes clear that silence is not merely the absence of noise or communication, it is a powerful tool for self-discovery, emotional healing, and spiritual growth. Cutting ties with others, especially those who drain you or disrupt your peace, is not an act of isolation, but an act of self-love and protection. In Zen and Buddhist teachings, silence is revered as the gateway to enlightenment, and detachment is seen as the key to freedom. By embracing these principles, you free yourself from the unnecessary distractions of the world and open the door to true inner peace. You become more attuned to your own needs, desires, and truths, and you create the space for deep healing and spiritual awakening. So, the next time you find yourself overwhelmed by the noise of the world or entangled in toxic relationships, remember the power of silence. Retreat into the quietness of your own being, and watch as the clarity, peace, and wisdom of the universe begin to unfold within you. Thanks for watching. Hope enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Just click the subscribe button below and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Also, feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you'd like to see next. See you in the next video.